Travis High School.
Sir, yep.
Short trip from Austin. What brought you to Baylor?
My parents. So my parents went to Baylor. My brother went to Baylor.
Grandfather?
Grandparents,
Yeah.
Grandfather played football here. So a lot of people from Baylor. I think 11 have been to Baylor in my family, including my sister, who's here this year. So that's fun.
So you got your little sister here.
Yep. She's more busy than I am. I every time I ask her to hang out, she's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm like, okay. So she's loving it.
So you guys all went to Baylor, and was that something that for someone of your ilk with the skill you have, was that an easy decision, or did you kind of take a look at the marketplace?
It was an easy decision. I kind of made it on the spot. Right when they told me I have a spot here, I was like, yep, shook his hand as fast as I could, and yep, it's been on the ground running since then. So,
what's your favorite part about Baylor? I'm sure you have memories going back since you can remember.
The game days, the football game days. I've been going to them, since I can remember. The environment, the crowd, how nice everyone is. Basically, the culture here is what I've grown up on, and it's awesome.
What's special about Waco to you?
Familiarity, I'd say. Coming to college is a new experience, but it eased my mind knowing it's Waco. I've been here, and the people really welcomed me, and I didn't feel like I was a stranger at this place. It felt like I'd been here forever. So,
any of your teammates, do they look to you for sort of guidance, because you certainly know your way around?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not from here, but you basically are. Yeah. And your family knows every nook and cranny of campus probably.
Yeah, a lot of questions, a lot of school questions, because I've been here for 3 years, and my brother's done it, my sister's doing it now. Mm-hmm. So a lot of school questions, where things are. Freshmen ask that a lot. But I'd say Court Castle I still go to, because he lives in Waco. So people go to him, people go to me, but yeah, it's a little bit of both.
All right, talk to me about life on the Hill as a pitcher. I had a chance to talk to your teammate, Wes Jordan, recently, and he talked about the mental game that is baseball. Yeah. When you're a batter in the box by yourself, you're a pitcher, you're alone out there. It seems like sometimes for a long period of time. How do you approach the mental side of the game?
I try to stay away from being locked in until it's game time, because I know it can be mentally draining. When you wake up and you're pitching that day, it can be mentally draining. Think about it all day. So leading up to games, I kind of try to keep my mind off baseball as much as I can. But I'd say the most difficult part about pitching is when things actually go well, because then you got to do it again and again. So when things are tough, go in there, lift the house, you know what to do. But when things are going well, it's really hard to keep that same mindset day in and day out. So
what is that like, spending time as a reliever, right? Like when you come into a situation that obviously you remember a team, it's all yours, but you inherit, 3 runners on base with no outs. How do you go into that with a plan to succeed?
It's tough. It's definitely tough when there's runners on, 1-run game. But I think that's what every athlete strives for, is those moments where, it's do or die right here. So I kind of thrive off that, and it's really fun to compete in those environments.
When did you know you were a left-hander?
Early. I remember my dad telling me the story how I picked up a ball left-handed, and my grandpa stepped in. He's like, he's got to pick it up righty, and I just couldn't do it. And so they flipped me back to lefty, and I started throwing hard, and they're like, yeah, I guess he's a lefty. So
what do you know about – because getting ready to call some of your games, it's one of the things that jumps off the page at you, like, your lineage, your grandfather playing Baylor football. What do you know about his career?
I know he got hurt, and that Baylor's still honored to keep him here. So he became a student coach while he was here. So I know that, Baylor helped my grandpa, Baylor's helped me. So that's kind of my love for the university. But I know everyone loved him here, and that's where he met my grandma. So
there we go.
Cool story.
Yeah. When you talk about your career, what have you learned about yourself? What has baseball taught you about yourself?
It's taught me determination, and variability, I'd say, because I came in as a hitter, and then magically now I'm a pitcher. So it's taught me to, go through different routes. There's never going to be a path that everyone walks on. Everyone walks in different paths. So it's taught me that determination for sure, because it's hard. It's hard being an athlete here. It's, there's a lot of stake here. So I'd say both those.
How do you manage like the huge time commitment and the energy and the intensity that is baseball? Also, they say student athlete for a reason.
Yeah. Caffeine. Lots of caffeine, I'd say. But the support group we have, with SACE, academics, you get tutoring.
What's SACE? So what exactly is it?
Basically, they help you with any
I
academic.
It's student athlete.
Yeah, any academic problem you have, you go to them.
Okay.
And the support staff, there's so many people that help you, tutoring, different events to go to. They help you with everything, basically. And those are the right people to go to when you're struggling academically, because everyone wants to be here for sports.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget that academics are a part of it, and SACE really helps with that.
I've watched you play, and you have a great attitude, but it also, just sitting with you here, there's a lightness about you. Do your teammates look to you to add levity to situations to bring some humor?
Yeah, I'd say I'm a light to the team. I'd say I joke around a lot. I mess around a lot, especially, practice. I know if things are getting tough and it's getting hard, I like to throw a couple jokes here and there to keep the mood up, especially when we're losing. You know what I mean? Like, you play 4 games a week, and those can be tough, especially if you play a tough weekend and it's not going your way. You always got to keep that mood up. So, yeah, I'd say I like to use a lot of comedy around the ballpark. So.
What's a piece of comedy like that you've used before in the past? I'm not asking you to do a stand-up skit right here, but has there been a prank or a moment that is a story that you may be telling for the rest of your life, something you could share with us?
So Mason Green, when we lift or do anything and when something goes wrong, I always just want to call out Green just to mess with them. So that's a little joke I throw in there. So
you'd be like, Mason, what's going on
yeah,
here?
It's exactly, yeah. If someone's like, someone missed class, I'm like, I bet it was Mason. So, but yeah, Mason's a great guy. He's never going to miss class. But
yeah, I like to see that's like a really good, quirky sense of humor, Yeah. What about yourself away from the game? Like, what do you do to stay engaged, just in life in general, having a good time?
I always like to hang around guys. So, if that's the bank where we eat at dinner, I'll eat for 30 minutes. I'll stay for an extra hour. Just like the conversations around with different teammates and all that. So I don't really like to be alone that much. So I always just try to be around all the guys as long as possible.
Do you understand how special of a time this is for you? Like, I was like a grandfather. I went to college to play football. Mm-hmm. I had a heart problem, but they kept me on scholarship. So I was sort of like almost like a coach, like with the team the whole time. It was an amazing experience. And I look back, and some of the best years of my life, easily, because of the camaraderie. Do you have moments where you kind of take into consideration, like, this is amazing?
Yeah, I'd say the past 2 years, I really didn't, just because it's fast-paced here. But now this year, third year, halfway through, more than halfway through, and I do catch myself looking around the ballpark and being like, wow, this is a really fun time.
Yeah.
Busy, but really fun time. So I'm sure I'll think back after college and be like, wow, that was a good time.
Well, and you're playing at such an elite level. You're playing in the Big 12. You're playing at Baylor. There's history to this program, history certainly to the Big 12. What has that meant to you to play on such a big stage?
I don't think a lot of us realize it until we look back on it. I think we're so focused and we're so in tune with everything that, while you're playing, it doesn't seem that big. It just seems like you're playing with one team. But looking back on the season, I'm like, well, we played Texas, OU, all those schools that are big-time schools, West Virginia. You look back on it, you're like, this is big-time baseball.
Yeah.
So
and you think about your story, like Baylor is something you can easily connect with because it's been around all your life. But it's an upper echelon school that competes at the highest level.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty cool for you.
Yeah, it is. When I walk into a football stadium and I see all those Baylor fans, I'm like, wow, it's a big-time school. And I think we have 20,000 students on campus. It's just like, I can't even fathom 20,000 students. So
what's the relationship for you been like as a Texan? Baylor has grown culturally. Like, there's people now that come to Baylor from all over the country.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, like, do you take pride in that, like the diversity that's taking place here?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people in my classes that are from different countries. We even have one on our team, Tyreek.
Yeah. So
it's really cool seeing, I'm from Texas, I know the area, but it's really cool learning of different experiences from them. So I think that's one of the things that at Baylor you get that's really cool.
What is your relationship with guys, girls, or women who play other sports? Do you like come in contact with them? You see them a lot?
So freshman year we lived in a place called U Parks, and me and my buddies really got to know the soccer girls, and still friends with them. Take trips. It's fun. So I'd say the soccer girls, the baseball team, equestrian too. But living at U Parks freshman year, you get to know everyone in sports because all the freshmen live right there. So even football. I knew Richard Reese, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
What about your career? Even if you go to play Major League Baseball, when that is over, like, what do you plan on doing? And if you want to be a coach, that's a great answer. But what do you see Ethan Calder doing with his life?
That's a great question. I've taken time to think about it more this year, especially since the fall.
What's your major?
I'm management and entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So hopefully an idea comes to my head and we just run with it. But real estate investment is something that interests me. But I'm kind of a go with the flow guy. Mm-hmm. So if something sounds cool to me later down the road, I'll probably jump on that. So definitely got to do a little more thinking there. But yeah.
As a guy from Austin, what's it like? I was so lucky. I was on the call for that game when you guys beat UT, not this past season, but the one before.
Yeah.
Like the unbelievable one where the guy came out of the dugout.
Yeah.
The umpire did. I guess you overturned the call.
Yeah.
What's it like when you play Texas for a guy from Lake Travis High School?
It's fun. It's really fun. Growing up in Austin, all you hear is Texas, Texas, Texas. Everyone around you is Texas, and you're the lone Baylor guy. So it's really fun playing them and beating them. I think both games I've pitched in the past 2 years, we beat them. So, it's really fun. It definitely puts a chip on your shoulder when you realize maybe they didn't recruit me as much as I wanted them to, and now I get the chance to show them. So, yeah, it's really fun playing Baylor.
What do you anticipate the most your senior season or your junior year? Sorry, this upcoming season.
The core group of guys we have and the new guys we brought in. So, like hitting, I'd say is a very very tight group that came back. I'd say most of them came back. And the pitchers, this new talent we have is the most talented team I've seen, since I've been here. So I'm really excited to see how we come together as pitching. And I'm really excited to see that hitting team take their second year, and they're going to do some damage.
You're doing a day in the life right now, which people I'm sure can find. Where are they going to be able to find it at some point?
They're going to find that it's a super busy schedule and that there might not be as much homework as I should be doing. So, yeah.
What does a day in the life of Ethan Calder look like? Aside from the classes and stuff and aside from the lifts and all that, what do you do when you have a break or a chance to catch your breath?
Well, this year I'm feeling really old because I'm getting oil changes. I'm cleaning the house, doing laundry. But really just being around campus. If there's something to do on campus, I'll go do that. I know there's homecoming coming up, so I'll do all the events there. Looking forward to Christmas on the 5th soon. So just different events on campus, I'd say, is what I'd probably be doing if I'm not doing baseball or school.
What about you as far as, something has happened to you that's been difficult and it's been an adverse situation and you've overcome it? Is there one you can kind of point to in your life where it's made you a better man?
Switching positions, because I knew coming in here my freshman year, I was like, there's a chance of me being cut. That's a realistic chance. And when I broke my hand in the fall, I couldn't hit. So I'm stuck sitting there waiting. I don't know what they're going to do with me.
What do?
You just trust your teammates. You be a good teammate. You lift as hard as you can when you can't do stuff like that. But I got a call from Coach Thompson over the break saying, hey, did you pitch? I was like, I can pitch. And Blake Helton, I don't know if you remember him, but I threw with him all break. And leaning on a guy like that who has a bunch of experience really helped me down the road because it was tough. I remember I went to Duke, my second collegiate outing, and it was not great. It was like 6 runs, got like 1 out.
It was like opening series, right?
Yeah. It was a tough series, and I remember coming back from that series, and I was like, man, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know what my future holds. And then leaning on the older guys, Hamilton Oliver, Anderson Needham, and Blake Helton, those guys really helped me just build that confidence throughout the year. So that was really, really crucial time, I'd say, for me here.
All right, last question. What's something about you that people will be really surprised to know?
Really surprised to know? I can't say. I don't really know. I'm really into shoes. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I'm really into shoes. Spent a little too much money last year on shoes, so I'm cutting back, but really into shoes.
All right. Ethan Calder, man. Thanks for being you, dude. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
We are Rogue Media Sports.